My God, so Donald Trump just admitted that this $40 billion Argentina bailout will not benefit the United States at all. Listen.
Argentina, what's the benefit for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America.
It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but guess what? $40 billion would. Did you know that that would pay for an entire year of ACA premium tax credits? Yes, it would. I guess we're Argentina first now. Although I guess it's not really just Argentina. I mean, we're getting a ballroom for $200 million. We got the Qatari jet for $1 billion. Qatar is getting an air base in the United States. There's tons of money for ice, tons of money for golf trips. Oh, and don't forget the hedge fund managers who are the beneficiaries of this Argentinian bailout. American billionaires who don't want to lose their investment. It actually just really feels like it is American workers who are constantly getting the shaft. So to summarize, if you're Qatar, you're going to make a lot of money off of Donald Trump. If you're Israel, you're going to get a ton of money from Donald Trump. If you're Argentina, $40 billion from Donald Trump. But if you're an American who is demanding the government help pay for your health care, you're Antifa. Talk about America last.
Donald Trump sending $40 billion to Argentina. What the fuck does Argentina have to do with us? What the fuck does Argentina have to do with us? I thought we weren't sending any money to any immigrants or foreign countries. Huh? I don't hear you MAGA or Latino Trump supporters fucking crying. Huh? Where the fuck you at, ho? It's always money for the wars. There's always money for other countries. But there's never money for us. There's never money for the fucking American. What happened to making America great again, huh? What happened to making America great again part 2? They funded Israel for the war on genocide. And it's free Palestine. I just can't fucking wait for the Epstein files to come out. So just like you guys call my people illegal immigrants, I'm gonna call y'all motherfuckers. Fuck y'all, and it's fuck guys.
$40 billion just disappeared. Not to American farmers, not to veterans, not to anyone struggling to pay rent or buy groceries, to Argentina, a country that competes directly with American farmers, a country whose leader crashed their own economy, a country that's now taking U.S. customers and selling soybeans to China, and the people who got robbed? The same ones who voted for America first. You can't make this up. It's too absurd to be real. But here we are. This isn't a political debate anymore. This is theft, in broad daylight, with your tax dollars. So today we're breaking down the biggest con in modern politics, and why the people getting hurt the most are the ones who asked for it. Welcome to Mind Mirror. Let's get into it.
So if you're looking for a midday pick-me-up, you won't find it here because this is going to make you very upset. And it's going to give you something to make a sign for your festival for this weekend and something to march to for your festival this weekend if you're planning on going. But Scott Bessent said the U.S. is considering doubling aid to Argentina. He's going to consider sending an additional $20 billion with a B to Argentina. These are the same people who complain about homeless people in the streets. We could get rid of it for $6 billion a year. A $6 billion commitment every year. You wouldn't see homeless people on the streets anymore.
$6 billion. That's the price tag to end homelessness in America, every year. Meanwhile, we just shipped $40 billion to Argentina, a country whose economy is circling the drain because their leader ran it into the ground. So when people say we can't afford social programs, that's code for we won't prioritize them. The money's there, it's just not for you. And here's what kills me. The same folks who lose their minds over a homeless person getting food stamps are radio silent about billions vanishing overseas. No outrage, no protests, nothing. Because it was never about fiscal responsibility. It was about controlling who gets help and who doesn't. You want to solve homelessness? We have the money. You want universal health care? We have the money. You want better schools? We have the money. It's just going to Argentina instead. So next time someone tells you we can't afford to help Americans, ask them why we can afford to bail out foreign countries. Watch them scramble for an answer. Because there isn't one. Wait, run that back. Can't pay the military because of legal issues during a shutdown. But Argentina gets $20 billion? Then another $20 billion? No problem whatsoever? Let me make sure I understand the priority list here. Foreign country with a failing economy ranks higher than the people who defend this nation. That's not a budget constraint, that's a choice. And if you've got family in the military, or if you served yourself, you should be absolutely furious right now, because your government just showed you exactly where you rank on their priority list. Here's what bothers me most. We love to thank troops for their service. We wave flags, we post on Veterans Day, we talk about supporting our heroes. But when it comes time to actually support them, to pay them during a shutdown, suddenly it's complicated. Suddenly there's red tape. Meanwhile, billions flow out the door to foreign countries without a second thought. So which is it? Do we support the troops or don't we? Because actions speak louder than bumper stickers. And right now, the message is crystal clear.
These are the same people who complain about that, but they'll send Argentina a $40 billion care package. While the Argentinian president is on stage doing his Mick Jagger impersonation, rolling in a vat of our money and our tax-paying dollars.
Trump is giving another $20 billion to Argentina. We've now given them $40 billion in the last week. How much has gone to American farmers? Zero. Trump also wasn't going to pay the military. They said they weren't paying the military during the shutdown. Oh well, military always gets paid during the shutdown, not under Donald Trump. He said no. Why? This was my favorite. A couple days ago, the Treasury Secretary, when announcing the additional $20 billion for Argentina, said, oh, we can't pay the military because of the shutdown. We're not allowed to. Oh, you're not allowed to pay the military during the shutdown, but you're allowed to pay Argentina. That's nice. Now, here's another point, too. $40 freaking billion. You know how much money they saved by shutting down AID, our foreign aid program that ended up killing lots of children in Africa? $14 to $16 billion they saved. We just pissed it away. $40 billion they gave to Argentina. These guys don't care about money. They are so fiscally reckless. They shut down these programs because they wanted to hurt people. They shut down these programs because they thought it was Democrats, like only Democrats care about helping people. That's why they cut money from Medicaid. That's why they cut money from the ACA. They're not letting us renew the subsidies for your health insurance. The prices are going to double because of Republicans. And now we've got this.
So, America First, President Trump is going to bail out Argentina with $20 billion, a country which is one of the U.S.'s biggest competitors in the soybean industry. Meanwhile, most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and some Americans aren't even getting that paycheck because of this government shutdown, forcing communities like West Point to organize their own community food drives just to feed people. It's very clear that Trump cares more about helping his political allies and his rich hedge fund managers who will stand to lose if Argentina goes bankrupt, rather than his own American citizens.
We just sent $40 billion to Argentina. 40 billion. What a B!
Picture this for a second. You're an American soybean farmer. You voted for policies that promised to protect you. Then those policies started a trade war that destroyed your customer base. China stopped buying from you and went to Brazil instead. Now you're sitting on crops you can't sell, watching your life's work circle the drain. And what happens next? The government sends $40 billion to Argentina, the country that's now taking your customers and eating your lunch. It's not even ironic anymore. It's just cruel. This is like watching your financial advisor take all your money and invest it in your competitor's business. And when you go bankrupt, they shrug and say business is business. The farmers who believed in America First are learning a hard lesson. Slogans don't pay bills. And loyalty doesn't protect you when the people you're loyal to don't return the favor. Here's the advice. Actions matter more than words. When someone tells you they're fighting for you while actively funding your competition, believe what they do, not what they say. Because $40 billion to Argentina doesn't lie.
Don't ever let these motherfuckers tell you that we can't have universal health care, that they can't raise wages, that we can't have functioning funded schools, that we can't have functioning affordable hospitals. We have the money. They don't want to spend it on Americans. While all this goes down, meanwhile, they're shutting down cancer research. They've shut down hospitals. They've cut environmental impact programs, stopped the funding that would have went to FEMA to help the people in Alaska right now whose native lands are being destroyed, homes floating in the fucking ocean. Like, what are we talking about, bro? We have the money. They do not want to spend it on everyday Americans. If you're not a billionaire or a millionaire, they do not think you are worthy enough to have the qualifications of rights like health, wealth, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right there. That's it. That's the whole game. The American dream isn't dead. It's just been gatekept, reserved for people who can afford the membership fee. Look at what's happening simultaneously. Cancer research? Shut down. FEMA funding for Alaska natives whose homes are literally floating in the ocean? Cut. Health insurance subsidies that keep premiums affordable? Expiring. But Argentina gets $40 billion. No questions asked. And here's what this means for regular people. If you're working 2 jobs, if you're choosing between medication and groceries, if you're one medical emergency away from bankruptcy, you're not in the club. You're not part of the plan. The system works exactly as intended. It's just not intended for you. They'll tell you there's no money for healthcare, no money for schools, no money for infrastructure, and then they'll write a $40 billion check to a foreign country and expect you to just... The question is, how long will you keep defending people who wouldn't spend a dime to help you? Because every time you justify this, you're participating in your own exploitation. And that's not patriotism. That's self-destruction.
The American dream is only the dream for the rich.
America first, America first. Oh wait, that $20 billion bailout to Argentina is now $40 billion. All while the Republicans are trying to gut Medicaid and healthcare for working Americans, while farmers are sitting there with no soybeans being sold because of Trump's tariffs. So even MAGA, this is not America first. You have been swindled. You have been lied to.
Yeah, you did. And look, I'm not saying this to twist the knife. I'm saying it because the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can stop making the same mistake. You were told the swamp would get drained. Instead, it got deeper, filled with hedge fund managers and billionaires who are now using your tax dollars to protect their overseas investments. You were told jobs would come back. Instead, trade wars destroyed your markets and sent your customers running to other countries. You were told this time would be different. But here we are, same con, different decade. And the tragic part? Some people are still defending it, still making excuses, still blaming everyone except the people actually responsible. You're out here struggling to pay bills while billions flow to Argentina, and you're mad at immigrants, at Democrats, at anyone except the people who just robbed you. Here's the hard truth. Pride is expensive, and right now it's costing you everything. If you made a bad call, own it, learn from it, and stop letting loyalty to politicians override loyalty to yourself. Because at the end of the day, they're not struggling. You are.
Donald Trump is bailing out the Argentinian economy to the tune of $40 billion in U.S. taxpayer money. That number was originally $20 billion, but we've recently found out that he's since doubled that number to $40 billion. Now, this isn't some brilliant economic policy on behalf of the administration. Trump himself has admitted that he doesn't think this bailout will do anything to create a net benefit for the United States. He's just trying to help his right-wing ally, the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, who's wrecked the country's economy and is set to lose big in the country's midterm elections next month. Now, what the administration has done is basically condition giving this money to Argentina only based off of if the right-wing party wins in the elections next month. So they're basically threatening the people with crashing the economy if they don't vote for the right-wing party in the midterm elections, which is obviously just brazen corruption and election meddling. But also, don't we think there are better places that $40 billion could go right now? Maybe domestically, like to Americans whose, health insurance premiums are going to triple, or to people who are having their SNAP benefits cut.
Hey MAGA, did you know that Trump's $20 billion bailout to Argentina just got doubled to $40 billion? And this is after we all knew when he gave him $20 billion that they plan to fuck over the U.S. farmers. The U.S. farmers that are already fucked over by Trump's tariff policies. Doesn't this sound suspicious to you in the least? Why is Argentina getting $20 billion? Additionally, so $40 billion in total, when we're going to have 20 million Americans losing health coverage. They won't extend the ACA tax credits with the Democrats. That's the only thing holding this government shutdown from stopping, is change that ACA credit extension. They want that to expire. That's part of Project 2025. They're just not saying it out loud. Wake up, MAGA. Wake up. This is going to affect you. What you've been voting for and supporting this whole time is going to affect a large majority of you. Not a portion, a majority of you. Time to pull your heads out of your asses and let's band together. This is not left versus right. This is up versus down. The top 1%. That's who's benefiting from all this madness that you're supporting.
Exactly. Finally, someone said what needs to be said. This isn't left versus right. This is up versus down, rich versus poor. And until people figure that out, we all lose. Look, I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care who you voted for. What matters is whether you can see the truth right in front of you. The top 1% are robbing everyone blind. They're cutting benefits, raising costs, shipping wealth overseas, and they're doing it while convincing people the real enemy is the person next to them who's just as broke. MAGA voters and working-class progressives have way more in common than either group wants to admit. You're both working harder for less. You're both worried about healthcare, bills, keeping a roof overhead. The difference is who you're blaming for it. And while you're fighting culture wars about pronouns and flags, the people at the top are laughing all the way to the bank with your money. That $40 billion to Argentina? That's not their money. It's yours. Tax dollars you worked for. And it's gone. So here's the advice. Stop fighting horizontal battles and start looking up. Because the enemy isn't the person struggling next to you. It's the person above you who benefits from keeping you distracted.
It's certainly not people in red states, people on food stamps. Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow me for more.
I know I look like crap this morning, and I apologize. My name is Angel. I live in Columbia, Missouri. I woke up watching news and finding out we are going to give Argentina a $20 billion bailout. While we can't even have health care in this country. And we're falling apart. Seems to think he needs a Nobel Peace Prize. Which I don't understand because he's tearing our country apart. I'm really not crazy. I really never knew this. I am 60 years old. And for the first time in my life, I am scared to death to live in this country. I want to take my family and leave. I can't afford passports, imagine. But anyway, please, if you agree with me, call your senators, protest, do whatever you can. But I don't understand why we are giving another country $20 billion when so many people are on the verge of losing health care. So many rural hospitals are on the verge of closing. When this ACA or whatever they want to call it, Obamacare ends, everybody's premiums are shooting up. Not just the poor people you think are on Obamacare, but everybody's, because the whole system's going to have to absorb this. The system's going to have to absorb people that can't afford it and have to go to the emergency room for treatment, and that's all they can get. So we're going to let our people just lay here and die because they can't get health care, but we're going to bail out other countries? I don't understand. Please, if you agree with me and you think something needs to be done, just call your senators and tell them, please. Thank you for listening to my whiny post.
If you're wondering why the Trump administration sent a whole bunch of money to Argentina, $20 billion to Argentina. Reporting says funds at investment firms like BlackRock, Fidelity, and PIMCO are heavily invested in Argentina, as are investors such as Stanley Druckenmiller and Robert Citrone, both of whom worked with Mr. Besant when he was an investor for George Soros. So, basically what happened is that the anarcho-capitalist, crazy right-wing people who thought that unhinged capitalism was going to solve all of their problems, invested heavily, and now the U.S. taxpayer foots the bill. America first, though, right?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Frederick Pogue here. So farmers, MAGA farmers, you know, I think it was like 84% of y'all, or 70%, something like that voted for Trump. How y'all doing right now? I know you saw the news where the Argentina bailout that went from 20 billion to 40 billion. You know, Argentina is picking up the China soybean market, right? Yeah, to the tune of $14 billion. After Trump, with his trade war and the tariffs and all, just crushed yours. All the licenses and everything y'all needed to trade with China, the tens of billions of dollars, that's gone. And I mean, you know, he said you could make it up selling within America, but Americans don't eat soybeans. We ain't big on tofu. China is, though. They're going to Argentina. $14 billion. And getting $40 billion bailout of our tax dollars. He offered y'all 10. I don't even know if he's going to deliver on that. This is beyond FAFO at this point. This is just the sick realization of realizing, I hope you realize that you ain't in the club. Nope. You out here with the rest of us. He got your votes, and he don't care about y'all no more. I mean, he never did care about y'all. He just wanted your votes. And you kept giving it to him. A lot of y'all gave it to him 3 times. And he already done went through this once in his first term. I keep trying to tell y'all, you ain't in the club. $40 billion to Argentina. And it's not even going to their farmers. It's going to the billionaire buddies of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. You know, Rob Centrone, he has all that debt from Argentina. You know, after they ran it into the ground because they got some right-wing lunatic to be their president. Man, that sounds a lot like us, don't it? Anyway, that's all I got for you. Try to hang on, MAGA small farmers. I mean, it's going to, I guess try to keep the faith and defend democracy, but above all, just remember, you ain't in the club. You out here with us. Maybe it's time to start acting like it.
That line right there deserves to be on a billboard. You ain't in the club. You out here with us. Because that's the reality check some people desperately need to hear. You thought you were on the winning team. Thought you were part of something bigger. Thought finally someone's looking out for people like me. But you were never in the club. Not even close. The club is hedge fund managers getting bailouts when their Argentina bets go south. The club is billionaires paying less in taxes than teachers. The club is politicians who'll never worry about affording insulin or losing their farms. You're out here with everyone else, scraping by, hoping next month is easier than this one, praying nothing breaks because you can't afford to fix it. And there's no shame in that reality. But there is shame in continuing to defend the people who put you there. So start acting like it. Stop defending billionaires who don't know your name. Stop making excuses for policies that hurt you personally. Stop pretending loyalty to politicians matters more than your own survival. Because the people at the top aren't losing sleep over you. They're not worried about your farm, your healthcare, your future. They never were.
All that bullshit about America first while you're out here wiring $20 billion of U.S. taxpayers' money to fucking Argentina. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus fucking Christ. All that's happening. Meanwhile, the farmers here in the USA, how are they doing?
I got to farm with my dad every day. It's a way of life. It's a wonderful way of life. And it's at risk. And it shouldn't be.
The impact of Trump's tariffs is being felt in the heartland. Soybean farmers here are now suffering economically like they haven't in decades.
Well, let me get this straight. Trump gives $20 billion to Argentina, and Argentina sells all their soybeans to China. Trump basically funded Beijing's breakfast. So he's out here giving money to Argentina just so they can sell their soybeans to China. That's like buying dinner for your ex so she can feed her new man. He said America first, but just paid Argentina to undercut American farmers and hook up China. That's not America first, that's America finesse.
America finesse. I'm keeping that one. Perfect description of what just happened here. This is a con so smooth most people didn't even realize they got robbed until their bank account was empty. Think about the absurdity of this timeline. Tariffs get imposed on China. China stops buying American soybeans and switches to Brazil and Argentina. American farmers can't sell their crops. And the solution? Send $40 billion to Argentina, the same country that's now stealing American farmers' customers. It's like owning a restaurant, losing all your customers because you raised prices too high, and then personally funding your competitor across the street to expand their business. That's not economic policy. That's economic suicide. And the farmers suffering the most? The ones who believe this would help them. They're sitting on warehouses full of soybeans nobody wants while their competition gets a $40 billion boost courtesy of American taxpayers. You can't make this up. It's too ridiculous to be fiction. So here's the lesson. When someone shows you who they are through their actions, believe them immediately. The actions here are clear. Argentina over American farmers. Foreign interests over domestic needs. And until people accept that reality, they'll keep getting played.
We have some big news right now. The Argentina bailout from the United States has doubled to $40 billion.
It's almost like they know they're going to need a place to go when they start getting the trials, huh? Argentina. Seen this before.
For Argentina, what's the benefits for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following it.
So, let's talk about 40 billion.
Member Craig, what is going on?
Well, it looks like the Trump administration has upped its taxpayer bailout of Argentina to $40 billion.
Do you remember how MAGA was outraged about sending 40 billion worth of ammunition and weapons to Ukraine to fight against Russian invasion? And today there is silence, when this administration sends $40 billion cash, no question asked, to Argentina to help their farmers. And where are all those conservatives who cried about America first? Where are they? So maybe it wasn't about the money. Maybe it was about them being so afraid to go against Russia. Because here, 40 billion, not a problem. Sent to Argentina, no questions asked. No, don't need to bail out American farmers. Screw them. But Argentina's farmers, they need $40 billion because they are in the fight for their lives. Yeah? Well, not really. But sending weapons to Ukraine and giving those $40 billion to the American companies, well, that was unacceptable for majority of the conservatives on this side, or conservatives in general. Interesting, isn't it? Maybe, just maybe, they're cowards who only can fight with women and children.
Hey everyone, well I am here with Angie Craig, who is the ranking member, meaning the highest ranking Democrat of the Agriculture Committee, and she just shared some breaking news with the caucus. So ranking member Craig, what is going on?
Well, it looks like the Trump administration has upped its taxpayer bailout of Argentina to $40 billion. At a time when economic assistance is needed to American family farmers. This is one of the most egregious acts of this administration.
And the corruption abounds. In fact, what you just told me was that the President of the United States is going to send $40 billion of American taxpayer dollars to Argentina to bail them out of their own manufactured economic crisis because their own leader, who is a lot like Trump, frankly, and his buddy, basically bankrupted the country of Argentina. But this is the thing that gets me. He's up for re-election right now, and Donald Trump basically said this aid package is...
Well, this is actually a bribe for Donald Trump to try to get the Argentinian people to re-elect this dictator. It's just the most corrupt, inappropriate use of presidential power, and at the expense of American taxpayers and family farmers in this country. As I said, it's one of the most egregious acts of this administration.
So basically, Trump is conditioning this aid, which is your taxpayer dollars, on this crazy guy winning re-election. So it's a bribe to the Argentinian people. But in addition to that, we're here fighting to save your healthcare, to keep WIC funded, and to make sure that people can put food on the table. And you also shared with us another shocking revelation, which is that the Trump administration is telling states to not distribute SNAP money, which is food benefits to folks who qualify next month. Tell us more about that.
Well, the SNAP benefits will go out in October. That is already in the pipeline, but USDA has issued a memo to states instructing them that if the government is shut down after November 1st, not to distribute SNAP at a time when grocery prices are sky high and people are already having to choose whether to pay the rent or feed their families. Again, it is a direct attack on working families in our country.
And in my personal opinion, it's immoral. I mean, the fact that the president would give $40 billion in taxpayer-funded bailouts to essentially an autocrat in another country and then allow families to starve is immoral. It's wrong.
Look, and I don't know how the hell this constitutes America first. So I would say to family farmers, we understand your pain. We're fighting for you. Working families, we understand your pain. We're fighting for you, and I'm going to fight with all of my might against the bailout of a foreign country while Americans are having to forego their groceries.
This is what real accountability sounds like. Someone actually standing up and saying, this is wrong, and I'm going to do something about it. And it shouldn't be controversial. This should be the baseline. Left, right, center. Everyone should agree that $40 billion to Argentina while Americans struggle is absolutely insane. You've got farmers losing everything, families choosing between rent and food, people about to lose health insurance because subsidies expired, and the response? Here's $40 billion for a foreign country run by someone we like politically. That's not governance, that's corruption, plain and simple. And if you're still trying to justify this, ask yourself one honest question. What would it take for you to admit this was wrong? If $40 billion to a competitor country while your own people starve isn't enough, what is? What's the line? Here's practical advice for everyone. Demand better. You deserve a government that prioritizes you. You deserve leaders who actually fight for your interests, not for their wealthy friends. And if the people in power won't do it, find new people. Because this isn't America first. This is America last. And every single person deserves better than that.
And you better bet that we're going to conduct oversight and fight back.
Hey y'all, hi, it's me again. It is Thursday morning, October 16th, and I'm just about ready to go and get myself ready to go to work. This is an in-office day for me, but I have no clue how I missed this fucking arch that Trump wants to build in DC, to the tune of God only knows how many millions upon millions of dollars, and the 40 billion, yes, now 40 billion being given to Argentina. So I'm gonna ask you again, MAGA, how is this helping you? How is it helping you? When everything is just getting more and more expensive and he's wasting millions upon millions and billions of dollars on stupid shit. Literally stupid shit that we don't need, like his fucking grotesque ballroom. And now this stupid arch. Do you need that? Is that gonna make your life better?